This is a 2012 Windy Zonda 31, and we've taken it in part exchange against another lovely boat that we've sold. And I remember when these boats came out, and they were, and still are, like the supercar of the seas. In kind of car terms, a Windy was, and is, the Ferrari of the seas. Not very practical, but drives and handles superbly. When this came out, it just absolutely flew, and it still flies. And if you do various looks online on this boat, you'll see pictures of it totally airborne. Now, we're not doing that today, Dan, because we're just going to do a standard review, walk round, my opinions, and we're going to do the full pricing as usual. So let's get to it. Before we jump on, remember this boat is 2012. I think that's the first boat that I ever saw with the blade window. Do you agree, Dan?
I think so, yeah.
Because actually the blade windows didn't really come out properly to about 18, 19. So this being 2012, actually this boat came out in 2011, but this is a 12. That's the first actual blade window design. So it looks a lot newer than it is. As you can see, it's a very elegant boat, very simple lines, and it's extremely stiff. So when you go out in these boats and you jump waves, it feels like one solid piece of metal. But obviously it isn't, it's GRP. And it's vacuum infused. The interior is designed by a London design agency. It's very simple and elegant. So let's jump on and show you that. Okay, so we're on the platform, and this is the era before high-low platforms. So this is just a big fixed platform. It has got a lovely ladder, which is under here, that goes down into the water, and you've got a lovely big sunbed. Now, as you walk onto the boat, which I'm going to show you, there's lots of little places for storage. So let's show you those. Okay, so we've got storage down here, Dan. We should just turn that there. Which is where your fenders go. Always need a place for your fenders. And we've got this big sun pad here with this seat, which you pull these pins up and it will slide backwards and forwards, which is quite neat. This has got like a velour upholstery. God, that's a big sun pad, isn't it? Let's try it. I'm 6'1". Actually, I've shrunk a bit, Dan. Do you know?
Lost a little bit of weight.
No, my height's shrunk.
How did you manage that?
I had medical last week, and I think because I'm so tubby, I think it's made me shrink. So I'm just under 6'1" now. But anyway, look, I can still fit on here quite nicely. And before I forget, here is the stupid socks of the day. It says it's a packet of fries. Is it McDonald's fries, Dan? You're from McDonald's fries, aren't you? Yeah. Is that the packet? Yeah. And that's the fries. What's the blue bit? Is that the sky?
Maybe.
Is it like a pack of fries in the sky? Very comfortable socks. Right, so storage, we'll carry on. We've got some more down here. Crikey. That's where the fuel tanks are, or septic tanks, wherever they are, water tanks. And actually, we've got quite a lot of space for a 31-foot boat. Look, you can sit 1, 2, 3 of me there, 4, 5. Probably get 8 of you in this cockpit, which is quite good. One thing I must say, with the hood up, I can only just stand up. If you look here, Dan, look, only just stand up here. So if you're taller than me, and you want to go out in the UK, then you're going to need to get a bigger hood. So this is at the helm, and it's a really nice, spacious helm, really simple, and everything laid out correctly. Now, you may be wondering what that green thing is there. Well, it's not knicker elastic, it tensions the hood, but also it's giving the opening for the shout window. And we haven't done a shout window for a while, have we? Seagulls. Oi, get the fenders in! That actually works quite well. So let's zip that back up. So over at the helm, come a bit closer, Dan. We have got twin engine controls, even though it's got a single Volvo D6 370. That's right, isn't it? Bow thruster And all the gauges are laid out beautifully. Big plotter. I bet you that's an upgrade because I don't think that's 2012. That looks newer than 2012. All the switch gear, the depth, we've got the VHF, and we've got an old-fashioned chart table. Compass, which is good to see, and then there's steps that lead up there through the windscreen onto the bow. Now, the other thing I like about Windy's, and it's kind of one of their kind of design statements, is they've always got this grab rail on the windscreen. This windscreen is very, very expensive, and it's even more expensive because of this grab rail. And that's so when you're going really fast, you can hold onto the wheel and you can hold onto that. And I tell you what, this boat is fast. It will do 40 odd knots and it goes absolutely airborne. We're not taking it out today because there's plenty of other people that can do that, but it is a rocket ship. This boat is for the man that's got kids but doesn't want to stay on board overnight. This is for the man that's got a wife but actually isn't buying the boat for the wife. This is the man who is buying the boat for himself firstly, and then if the kids and wife enjoy it, that's a bonus, because the accommodation is cramped. It's nicely made, but it's cramped. This boat is all about fun, exhilaration and adrenaline. And actually, what more do you want to have a boat than that? So let's go downstairs and have a look. So the reason I say you're buying this boat for yourself, if you're a man, is because really, I mean, Windy called it a day cruiser, and I think that's pretty accurate. You could overnight in here, but you'd only want to do one night. Your missus wouldn't be happy. There's certainly no room for kids. They call it single berth, but it is a double. You've got a small galley here, which, let's be honest, you wouldn't want to cook on. You might want to wash your hands in that. And you've got a toilet in here. Do you want to have a little look, Dan?
I was wondering if you can do a floss test.
You are kidding, son. You are kidding. I'm nearly on my knees.
Now you're a bit shorter, no?
Yeah, I'm a little bit shorter. The toilet has got plenty of space. It's all very well finished. Has he got a shower? I think that probably... No? It hasn't got a shower. It's got a nice compartment there. You would use it just. It doesn't pass the floss test. It's for emergency use only. So I'm going to show you the engine. This one's fitted with a single D6 370, but you did have the option of the twin 220s. So there's the D6 370.
Fast hatch.
And it's got a nice big hatch. It's got a nice stainless hydraulic ram. Let's have a little look in there. It's nicely lined. These boats were vacuum infused, so it makes them very strong and very light. I mean, there's no frills in here, is there? I mean, it's just the engine, a hot water tank. That's an Eberspatcher there, Dan, isn't it? We've got a couple of batteries and a couple of bilge pumps. It's all very simple. But this boat is all about speed, and we'll get onto that in a second when I go through all the stats. Okay, so let's go through the stats. By the way, that is our office behind us on the seawall. Can you zoom in, Dan? You see my desk? I've got the sea view, son. Okay, so section 1, buying the boat. This boat is for sale with us, boats.co.uk, for $149,950, UK VAT paid. If you put a deposit of 30%, it would be $44,985. The finance advance, if you wanted to borrow some money, would be $104,965. The payment per month would be about $13.31, and that is based on a 10-year straight line repayment of 9.65% APR. So the finance per annum, if you borrowed the money, would be £15,976, which includes a big chunk of capital. Section 2 is fuel. God, that sun's bright. It's nearly December. Speed, so 25 knots. This boat will do in excess of 40 knots, but let's do 25 knots, which is about 2,500 RPM. Fuel burn is 35 litres per hour. The diesel fuel price is about £1.55 per litre. I know some people in America are saying, can you do it in dollars? I don't know what it is in dollars. I can work it out, but not today. The cost is therefore a very reasonable £55 per hour. So an average UK use of 50 hours per year will give an adjusted cost of about £2,200 per year, which is really good. Okay, section 3 is fixed costs. So this boat would cost you about £7,750 per year to berth in Southampton. Servicing is about £1,800 per year. You've got one engine and one drive. Other maintenance, polishing, anti-foul, hood repairs, etc. allow a couple of grand a year. And insurance is a very reasonable £1,500. So your total fixed costs are about £13,000. Okay, section 4 is variable costs. Depreciation, well, it's a £150,000 boat. I think it's disingenuous of us unless we tell you to dial in about 10%. So let's call that 15 grand per year, or this next year. Fuel is, well, we've done that, it's 2,200. Finance is 15,900. And so you've got variable costs of about 33 grand per year. But remember, that includes a chunk of capital on the boat. Okay, JB's measure of pleasure. Dan, you didn't tell me the foredeck was wet, so I've now got wet McDonald's fries socks, son. And it's first thing in the morning, so I have wet feet all day. Right, accommodation, let's be honest, it's not great. You're not buying this boat for accommodation, 7 out of 10. Style, well, it's a good looking boat. It's one of the first boats ever to have the blade windows. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Fun, well, this boat is a sports car of the sea. So it's a Ferrari, it's a Lamborghini, it's all those flashy fast cars. So we're going to give it 10 out of 10 for fun. Running costs, well, it's not that bad. So I think it's quite reasonable to run a boat like this. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Quality, this is a well-built boat. Everything is nice. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, which gives us a total score of 44 out of 50, which is 88%. I'll just shut the hatch.
Whoa! James,
What?
Your knicker elastic is...
Oh, unfree the knicker elastic, son. Pow! Pow! Oh, wrong way. Back down again. Very neat.